In the small town of Fray, Bentos, sits a massive factory that is one of 3 UNESCO sites in Uruguay. The Anglo Meat Packing Plant used to produce canned and frozen meat that was exported all over the world. This facility began as the Liebig Extract of Meat Company in 1865. Then it began exporting frozen meat in 1924 under the name Anglo. At its peak, the meat packing plant employed 5,000 workers from over 55 nations and made other products, ensuring no part of the animal was wasted. Meat processed here famously fed soldiers in both world wars. The Anglo Meat Packing Plant was closed in 1979 and has since been turned into a museum. The museum begins in the office, so you can see they have a lot of historical items. So you see lots of typewriters, old phones, the desks, even pictures of the people who work there, some books. So a lot of really interesting historical items you can see right there in the office. And no office would be complete without a time clock. So this was probably my favorite item in the office, was this old-timey punch clock. So you put your time card in there, punch it when you go to work. Next, you go down into kind of like the factory part of the plant, and you see a list of all the different nationalities and pictures of the different immigrants who worked in the meat packing plant. And one thing that I saw that really interested me was this World War I tank. And I did a little research to try and figure out why this World War I tank was there. And so basically what happened is there was a huge battle in World War I, and this is the most decorated tank and tank crew of World War I. So why is this British tank in a meatpacking museum? Simply because its captain, Donald Richardson, named this tank Fray Bentos, after the corned beef sold in his family's grocery store in England. So that's why there's a replica here at the museum. Another thing that I thought was interesting, this is how they sterilized the canned meats. So they took all the canned meat, put them in these big baskets, put them in this sterilization thing, and then that's how they sterilized them. If you're enjoying this video, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support is greatly appreciated. Now, back to the current video. The next part of the museum is the part that I thought was the most interesting. So you go through this doorway and there's all these giant machines. So basically this is the part of the meatpacking plant where the compressors are situated. And these compressors were an essential part of the refrigeration system at the meatpacking facility. So all these huge machines, they're all part of the compressors that were needed to run the refrigeration system to keep the meat cold. And as you can see on the markings, everything that I saw looked like it came from England. So this would have been, I believe, in the 1920s, early 1920s, when this was all set up for the refrigeration system. So you can see the giant wheels, the giant cables, pulleys, everything used for the compressors for the refrigeration system. For me, this was really what made this museum special, or unlike any other museum, being able to see all these giant machines still there, just kind of like when the plant closed down, everything just they just shut it off, and then there it is. And now museum visitors can go and check it out. It's really cool. Definitely something different than a regular museum. So those were the main interesting things that I saw at the Anglo Meat Packing Plant in Fray Bentos. But another thing that's really cool about this museum is that basically the entire facility is open to visitors. So I only showed you a little part of it, but there's a lot of it that you can just kind of walk around and explore at your own pace. Thanks again for watching. For more information on this and other trips, check out the website Tripstalker.blog and follow on social media.